So if I make you fall in love with it. Nobody told me this shit, I had to get used to it. You think I'm hoping it? She popped the perk and it's working, so I go through with it. I'm deep boogie, what's good, baby? I'm true to this. I pulled up. Keep it moving, you be doing way too much. I ain't telling time to tell you when it's up. I am not talking to you if you don't have love for me.
Oh, this chair is so loud. Alright. Hey guys, it's Jordan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've seen any of my previous videos, welcome back. So we're finally back in my room. I finally got it put together enough to film in here. And I got this idea because if you are one of my criminal justice subscribers, or honestly people that know me, I made a criminal justice video about, it was a year ago in March, about like my experience. Insert clip of me talking about how cool criminal justice is. I really liked it because I like criminal justice classes just because the professors are often like they've been cops in the past or something, so they tell you a lot of really like cool stories. The cool thing about criminal justice is a lot of the tests and stuff that I've taken in classes, it's kind of like, it's just common sense in my opinion, especially in the criminal justice field. I think everyone needs to really understand why people do what they do and not just look at it for the fact that they committed a crime. But I mean, I've talked about that before. Whatever. So as most of you may know, I'm now a senior. I mean, I'm a super senior actually because I should have graduated in the spring, but like, it's fine. Oh, I'm graduating in the winter, and I thought it would be good to maybe do like an updated, like being a criminal justice major from a senior's perspective, because I think a lot of my subscribers are like, oh, I'm an incoming freshman, or like, I'm in high school and I'm thinking about doing criminal justice. I think it would be helpful for people to hear my opinions on it, like as a graduating senior, and I wish I could have seen something like that, I guess, when I was younger. So yeah, if you're interested in hearing about my experience as a criminal justice major from a senior's perspective, please just keep watching this video. Okay, so the tea. The thing about being a criminal justice major, and this is not applicable to everybody, and I want to disclaim that in this video, like preface it that I'm not saying everybody feels like this, but I know there are a lot of people that do feel like me, because I know a lot of people that went into the major with the hopes of changing things and like making things better and changing the system and like that whole thing, which is awesome and like a really good thing. And I think I'm like talking so fast I can't even like breathe. I think that's like something really good that we should be like happy about, that people want to come in and make it better. But in college you meet a lot of different like personalities and a lot of opinions that are different probably from yours growing up, and that's kind of something really interesting that I learned. Because I'm a person that I don't see things as black and white. And I know that's, some people really do. Like, some people have the mentality of you do the crime, you do the time, period, point blank, no mitigating, aggravating factors, none of that. Like, it's you do it, you go to jail. I don't care your age, your race, all that stuff. Some people feel like that. Personally, I do not operate that way. I think there's a lot of things to take into account when people commit crimes and trying to figure out exactly why they're doing stuff like that. So it's kind of hard because sometimes you'll find yourself in classes with people that see things as very black and white and like this is what it is, and you kind of just have to like sit there and listen to other people's opinions because that's what college is. And I think in my old video I kind of was like saying it as a good thing, because it is a good thing like to be exposed to all these different opinions, because a lot of people that come to like my college especially like come from really sheltered areas, and it's important that they get that growth and hear other people's opinions. But it's one of those things that being a criminal justice major, like I do think it's a bit more difficult if you kind of have the social worker mentality, where it's like you're not so much this is what happened, like they did this crime, this is what needs to happen as a result. Along the realm of like you're an empath, like you feel for other people, you're sympathetic, you try to understand everything from all angles. It's not so easy. And when you're like that, especially like me, you kind of find a problem in every single like career path that you could go into. And that's been a really big problem for me. Every time people ask me like what I want to do with my degree, it's hard because ethically and morally I have conflicts with every single career. Like I wanted to be a lawyer for a while, and I'm like, but I don't want to be a prosecutor because I don't want to put people in jail, but I don't want to be a defense attorney because I don't want to defend people that are guilty. So that was like out of there for me. I was like, I want to be a probation officer, but I don't know if I want to work with convicted criminals who have done really messed up things, because you could end up getting put in a section working with like sex offenders, and that's your job. You have to check in on them. You have to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, and then if they hurt another kid, like that's gonna feel like it's it's on you, you know, because you're the probation officer. It's like, yes, I could make good money doing certain things, but would I be okay with doing those things like for the rest of my life and kind of like compromising the things that I value? And I personally feel like the answer is no. And the thing with that is like, it's also hard too, because you have to do something that's going to make money. Like, you, given all the school loans I have to pay back, like I got to find something that's going to make money either way. So that's the thing, is it's very conflicting when you don't know what you want to do and you have people asking you all the time, and like you just keep taking these criminal justice classes because that's what you declared your major in and you just have to. And that's kind of like leads into my next point. It's hard in college as well, because you could be like me. I was a junior. I was 3 years deep into these classes and I was kind of like, damn, like I don't know if this is what I want to do. But it literally gets to a point that once you're so far done, you don't want to like start over. And I literally couldn't afford to start over. I'm like, I cannot afford to stay in school any longer. Like, I have to just finish this and be done and get out and figure something out, because it's like, you don't have time, you don't have money to keep changing your major. And like, now I understand what they meant when they said like people change their majors all the time. It sounds really bad, but like when people ask me my major, I'm just like, criminal justice, and they're like, that's really cool. I'm just like, yeah, like I guess, like I don't have a choice because I already started it, and it's kind of like, that's just what I have to finish doing. I think something can be said for college in general, like the fact that at 18 years old I was supposed to decide where I was going to go to school, what I was going to major in, what I was going to do for the rest of my life. Like, I was not prepared to make that decision when I was 18 years old, I wouldn't say. But I did the best that I could, and I'm not saying I regret it, because I think I had some really valuable experiences in the criminal justice field. But I'm kind of at a point in my life that's like, once you kind of get older and you learn more about yourself and the world around you, feelings change and opinions change on how you, like, what you want to do and the jobs you want to have. Like, I never in a million years thought I'd be working in a daycare, and like I ended up really loving that. Like, I'm starting to find other interests outside of criminal justice, but it's also like graduation is coming, so I feel stressed out. Like, I have to get a job in my field, and it's a lot of stuff, honestly, that I could go on and on about in probably another video, like about college in general. So if you would want that, let me know. The criminal justice system, and like mostly the racism part of it and like where it all stemmed from, like I've enjoyed learning about the history of the system. But as for like specific processes, amendments, like law enforcement, like that stuff really just does not interest me as much as it might interest the next person. And I feel like the thing about criminal justice is like, there's a lot of things on this, it's a spectrum, I think, of stuff that you can do with your degree, and there's a lot of different options. But it's also important to note that there's a lot of things that you can do without a degree. Like, you don't have to like go into debt if you don't want to. Of course, a degree is going to put you, it's going to make your application stand out. It's going to give you promotions quicker. It's going to probably start you off at higher pay, of course. But it's not like you have to do it with certain jobs. And I think that's something I wish I would have realized at first, because I was like thinking about being a probation officer. And again, like, I don't need a bachelor's degree to do that. Like, I don't need that, you know? There's just a lot of things like to consider. And I feel like it's just really hard when you're somebody like me that just has a really big heart for like people in general. Like, and I've seen it, like, and people have told me about it that have been working in the field. Like, people that were working at the place I was doing my internship told me they used to get in trouble for caring too much about their clients. Like, you see some crazy stuff and you have to just like remain calm, cool, and collected, which I think sometimes I do pretty well, but it also takes a really like a toll on me emotionally. Like, working at the jail, I literally got to a point that I was like, I can't do this like anymore. It's just making me like just feel like a certain type of way. Like, it's not making me happy. It's just honestly bringing more, like, when you're an empathetic person, like, absorbing other people's experiences and feelings is really exhausting, because it just, you internalize it and you like become that almost, I guess. And I guess in general, like, I enjoyed like going to college. I think on the one hand, I'm like, oh, like, I didn't have to go to college, but at the same time, if I didn't go, I really don't know what else I would have been doing. I didn't have a plan at all. Like, so I guess it made sense. And I did take some really amazing classes, and I met some really cool people and cool teachers and heard some really awesome like opinions. And that's something I've always praised about the criminal justice major. Like, just the variety of people that you come across and the stories and the experiences that you get to hear about. My takeaway for this video is like, if you are someone like me who sees the gray areas of the world and not just the black and white, it does become a little more murky and a little more difficult to navigate like what you exactly want to do, because it's hard to like decide on one thing and it's constantly like a conflict. And again, I'm not trying to bash any criminal justice majors. Like, do your thing. We need you in this world, of course. Like, and I'm about to be a graduate. Like, it's awesome, but I just kind of am at this point in my life where I'm like starting to find other interests and other things that are making me happy that really aren't in alignment with the criminal justice stuff. So I'm trying to navigate that myself, but I'm trying to still like keep an open mind about it so I can keep making videos for you guys and keep like letting you guys know how it's going. And I'm definitely gonna try to film a lot of videos during this school year since it's my last semester and just kind of let you guys know like what's going on and how it is like being a senior basically. It's just this video I feel like is more so for the people that feel like they can relate to me in the way that I am. Feel like they have similar personality types. Like it's just definitely something to consider. That's all I can really say about that. Like if you are like me, like because I feel like the people that I've met that are very like black and white, like this is the law, you follow it, these are the amendments, this is that, this is how people that like a process and people that like things to happen the way that they're supposed to happen. Like I think that's a great major for you then, because you get to follow like a criminal justice process, like a court process. You get to follow those things. But for somebody that's very like, well, like what about X, Y, and Z? It does become a little bit more difficult. So it's just something to keep in mind, I guess, if you feel like you are at all like me or you can relate to any of the things I just said. And I'm hoping to make some more videos for you guys. So if you have any specific requests, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below. My social medias will be in the description below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. I would really appreciate it. If you watched it all the way to this point, I appreciate you so much, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.